Yo, what up? It's your boy Kev. Just wanted to give you a quick heads up. We did have a little bit of recording issues when we were doing this episode, so there might be a couple funky spots with little pops or something. Shouldn't be anything too major, though. And also just a quick disclaimer, we are a comedy and crime podcast, so we do cover a lot of serious events, but at the same time, we will be cracking jokes and making each other laugh and all that fun stuff. So it's just a heads up because sometimes that type of show is not for everyone. And I also just wanted to throw out, because there are a lot of rumors, yes, sometimes I am known as the carrot top of the love-making world. That's mostly just because I like to bring out my props whenever I'm getting real nasty. So sometimes I'll bring out like the handcuffs / George Foreman grill. And things just get, real nice after that. But that's not for us to talk about today. So everyone, I hope you enjoy the episode. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag Wildman.
All right, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come on down. Come on down. Hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the brothers Commonplace tonight.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brothers Commonplace, a comedy and crime podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And I got a couple of good buddies right here I want to introduce you to. These guys, they're real good. If they did a remake of the movie Goodfellas, they'd have to change the name to Greatfellas.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's not funny. Here they are.
What's up, guys? This is Tim. You guys don't know too much about my personal life. A couple of the fellas here do. I keep it secret because I don't like these guys. Actually, just started a new job. It's gonna be pretty cool for me because I'm gonna get a lot of exposure. Maybe become famous. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a new Halloween movie coming out. The trailer should be out tomorrow. So Jamie Lee Curtis is pretty busy. They didn't have a spokesperson for the Activia commercials. And I was just walking down the street the one day, fucking sweating, and some guy just pulls over. He's like, "You're in." I didn't even fucking audition or anything. So, I go in. They take a bunch of pictures of me. I didn't even, do any filming or anything. The new thing is going to be just a picture of me on the Activia container shrugging. It's going to say, "Yeah, you wish that diarrhea was from Activia, fat ass."
The longest fucking introduction of all time. Nicely done, Primo.
Thank you.
He noticed you're wearing the pants that you pissed yourself in the night before. That's why he said you're in.
Oh, fuck yes, dude. Well, apparently Toof was the guy that fucking pulled over and gave me the job.
Yeah. So, hey everybody, it's Toof, the country bumpkin, and I like to say Father's Day is coming up, and I'd like to give a shout out to my dad. He had a pretty special nickname for me back in the day. It was like Pizza Poops, Pizza Dumps. He used to call me his little pizza shits until my mom broke the secret that it wasn't pizza shits, it was piece of shit. And that kind of broke my heart. So I didn't feel too bad when I made sure that steel concrete floor didn't break his fall.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Sorry, Toof.
Laugh at the dark stuff.
And last but not least, it's your boy, it's K-Dog. And just like the Philadelphia Eagles, I will not be at the White House this year. However, every night you can find me on whitehouse.com.
I don't even get that.
It was a porn site back in the 90s.
Oh my God, I hope it's still a thing. I'm looking.
I don't think it is. I hope so, though.
I'm always looking for, new recruits. So.
Oh, God, yes. Alrighty, our story today begins all the way back in 1943, August 23rd to be exact. And something really fucked up. The zodiac sign that begins on August 23rd is Virgo, the virgin symbol, which this guy most certainly is not. This piece of shit definitely fucks all right, and not in a good way. I hate this guy, but we got to do it.
Oh, I thought we were doing an episode on Andrew. Hang on, let me change my notes.
Today we are covering Rodney Alcala, the dating game killer. Not to be confused with the Nedden game killer,
Oh, fuck yes.
our juggalo brother Andrew.
Oh my God, yes, dude. Too straight.
He'll be here next week, though, so.
Yeah, ladies, remember to grab squeegees.
But before we get into too many details on this case, let's go ahead and meet our honorary brothers for the week.
Yeah.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, sir. So if you want to be an honorary brother, we'll give you a shout out on the episode. All you got to do is give us a 5-star iTunes review or send us an email or reach out to us on Twitter or something. And we actually have a list now. We got a waiting list, guys.
Oh, hell yeah.
So if you don't hear your name today or next week, just know we will get to it.
2 weeks ago, we didn't even have
No,
one.
we didn't have any.
Nice. They're stepping it up.
Yeah, they fucking reached out to us, man.
Nice.
All right.
The only waiting we have was that fucking DVD on the shelf.
Alrighty, first honorary brothers is the band Last Bandoleros.
Oh, dude, I love these guys.
Fuck yeah, they're extremely talented. They're badass. They're awesome.
There.
2 of them mentioned us on Twitter. Like they're like, "Hey, we love the podcast," and I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." I went to their Twitter page, saw they were in a band, and I was like, "Cool, I'll check you guys out." And I listened to them and just was blown away. They're super good. They're super talented. I bought their EP. And you guys should all give them a listen and buy their album. They're super good.
That's not even just a joke.
They're fucking badass.
Like Kev showed me and Spence last week a bunch about them. They are like super good. So yeah, definitely check them out.
Yeah,
Rock band?
they're like a
Jazz?
country rock.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
They're on tour with Sting right now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they're super good. You'll
Yeah.
be singing along by the time you even finish the first song.
Totally.
They're really good.
Absolutely.
Hope Sting's neck's doing better.
Oh my god, from the rafters!
Holy shit, dude! Yes.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes,
buckle
I
bomb.
wish they were. Dude, if
Dude,
they were,
Sting's the shit.
if
man.
they were
Yeah.
traveling with that Sting, then we wouldn't have to be saying this right now. Honestly,
Second honorary brother of the week goes to Felipe Juarez. And thank you for the email. He also mentioned in the email how to pronounce his name, and I'm very sorry. I'm pretty sure I fucked it up.
oh shit!
But
are you just now seeing this?
what's funny is though is like I love that. I hope that becomes like a new trend because I'm awful with names.
Yeah.
And I love that the first like the email he sent me right away has a pronunciation.
Oh yes.
I hope
He
everyone
knew.
else does that. Yeah, he told us in the email that he found our pod by accident and he hasn't looked back since. He also made some requests. And then he ended the email with our send-off to be good, stay safe, laugh at the dark stuff.
Dude,
And then
nice.
followed up with hashtag
Oh
wild
man, I'm gonna kiss this man
So-
on the mouth.
Dude, that's awesome. He found us by accident. It's almost like how Andrew found out he was an accident.
Dude, wait. Did his mom tell him about me and her? Does he fucking know?
I don't know. Maybe the whole Denver Broncos would know
Hey,
too.
tell that son of a bitch it was not consensual.
Alrighty, Rodney Alcala. He is a Mexican-American born in San Antonio, Texas. Mexican-Americans love education, so they go to night school
in the morning.
and get a B.
What's his last name?
Alcala.
Okay.
And speaking of San Antonio, Las Bandoleros, the honorary brother band we mentioned, some of them are from San Antonio.
That's
And
pretty cool.
also, if we ever meet these guys, I feel like they owe us a round of beers for that time that the Spurs whipped our asses in the finals in 2007.
Oh my god!
I don't know why it's their fault, but I feel like they owe us
they
some
do.
beers for that.
Don't bring that up, guys. Honestly,
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Alrighty, Rodney, born in 1943. His father moved Rodney and his family to Mexico when he was only 8 years old. And then 3 years later, his father abandoned them and left them alone in Mexico. When asked why, his father said, "My family was really happening. And what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico." No, I made that up.
Oh my god! Oh man!
Yeah,
My family was really happy.
Make it real.
Yeah,
Make
I made
it real.
that up, dude. I made that up. That would have been good, though. I mean, that's not really funny either, so I do apologize.
It's fun.
And Rodney's mother then moved him and the family to Los Angeles. So now we're going to skip ahead some because I couldn't find out much on his childhood. But when he turned 17, he joined the army, but would soon suffer from a nervous breakdown, allegations of sexual misconduct, and he would soon go AWOL, hitchhiking back to his mother's house.
Nice.
And a military psychologist diagnosed him with antisocial personality disorder, and then he was medically discharged.
Damn, poor Rodney, man. It sounds like he didn't get no respect.
Yes, dude.
I don't know the guy's
Rodney
last name. That's
Dangerfield.
it, yeah, that's
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah.
Respect.
Hey.
That guy's no one really likes him anymore, right?
Well, I feel like
he
people.
just seems like he's a dickhead.
Well, I feel
He's
like
dead.
I feel like people
Oh,
people may like. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna say this. I don't know which of the two Rodneys we're talking about that people like more.
That's true.
Yeah.
Besides Little Nicky and Ladybugs,
Are we gonna do that?
no, let's not go
yeah.
here. We don't want
Giving
to.
him respect for those is like giving this guy respect for the killings, man. Let's just not. Let's just take away all respect
Alright.
for all Rodneys.
Okay. As a young man, Rodney was described as being charming, good-looking, and very intelligent.
Definitely not talking about Rodney Dangerfield. Oh, we went back to... Okay.
And after being discharged from the Army, he would next attend UCLA studying the fine arts of photography.
Lame.
There you go.
The first known really bad and shitty disgusting crime that this dirtbag commits would be in 1968 at the age of 25, right after he graduated from UCLA. So this is Los Angeles, 1968. Tali Shapiro, an 8-year-old girl, was walking to school one morning when a car pulled up next to her. And Rodney convinces her to get in the car and that he would give her a ride. And I think it was something along the lines of, I'm a friend of your mom and dad's or something like that. But she's only an 8-year-old girl, so she believes him and gets in the car.
Yeah.
I would never let an 8-year-old girl walk to school.
Dude, I mean, this was a long time ago because now I don't think anybody would.
And the LAPD had received a call that morning saying that there was a beige car that was following this little girl, and the car had no license plates. And the man that called also followed the car for a while to keep an eye on it. And afterwards, that's when he called the police.
Dude, stay with that shit. Why would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy,
I don't think he could call in because there's like no cell phone then, so he probably can't like keep up
Oh,
with it and
Jesus
call.
Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
no,
right.
no,
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking, too.
This guy's a hero. I mean, bad shit happens, but it would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for this guy.
God. Yeah.
An LAPD officer, Chris Camacho, that's probably not how you pronounce it because I'm stupid.
Is that from Karate Kid?
I was saying he has to either be a karate master or a wrestler.
He had just started his shift and he received this call. So he headed out to the location and knocked on the door. And this is what he said. "Police officer, open the door. I need to talk to you." And that's when a male appeared at the door. And he said, "I will always remember the face at the door, a very evil face." And then he follows up with, the guy inside follows up with, "I'm in the shower. I got to get dressed." And the cop's like, "Okay, you got 10 seconds. And then he finally kicks the door in after waiting.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And then the image will be with me forever. We could see in the kitchen that there was a body on the floor with lots of blood.
Jesus.
And as soon as the officer kicked open the front door, Rodney ran out the back door and escaped. And on the floor was Tali, the little girl. She had a metal bar over her, which Rodney had used to strangle her with. And underneath her was a puddle of blood. And they said that there was so much blood that they instantly assumed that she was dead, and she wasn't breathing either. She was beaten, raped, and left on the floor bleeding. But thankfully, the girl started making noises and trying to breathe.
Whoa.
So they rushed her to the hospital, and thank God that somebody called in about this car because otherwise she would have died.
Oh, shit, this fucking girl lives?
She lives.
So like was he in the process of choking her with that bar right then?
Yeah, well, she was pretty much next to death. I mean, she wasn't breathing. She had a huge puddle of blood under her. She had a puddle of mud CD playing.
Oh
That's
my
not
God.
even funny. I'm so sorry. Everything's so blurry.
Oh, my
Got
God.
this bar on my neck.
Oh, my God.
Choking me to death now. I am barely breathing.
Now my whole part taken
Yeah. We just stop it there.
She fucking hates me. And the police searched the house, and they knew the identity of the rapist and attempted murderer because he had IDs and papers left all over inside. And also found in his home were a bunch of photography equipment and lots of photographs of young girls. I think they were just like
creepy.
because he would do a thing, like he's in LA, so he would take advantage of girls that wanted to make it out there, and he would be like, "Hey, I'm a professional photographer, I'll take your picture,"
Yeah.
and things like that. And he would say that to people, and they'd be like, "Yeah, go ahead, take it," because they think they're like getting a deal, and this guy's helping them out.
Yeah. Did this girl end up being like okay, like having like an okay life and stuff, or is there any more to that?
I don't really know a whole lot. She does come back eventually, though. We will mention her one more time.
Okay, gotcha. That's sad.
So, yeah, they knew who he was. They knew his name, and they knew that he had graduated from UCLA. And they asked one of his professors at UCLA what they thought about him, and this is what they said. "Rod Alcala wouldn't hurt anybody. He's a great guy." So, like, he convinced people that he was, like, this good guy. Because, I mean, he is charming, and he is, like, he does seem, like, nice and stuff, but he's just a fucking dirtbag.
Oh, yeah.
Who said
Fuck
that about
this
him?
guy.
One of his professors.
Oh, so like people always say that I'm like a nice guy and everything,
Oh,
right?
yeah, just Luca Magnotta. Yeah, it does seem like him too, by the way.
People always say I'm like really good looking and everything. I'm just a nice guy.
Rodney had fled from police and made his way to New York, where he would enroll in the NYU Film School. He also went by a different name since the FBI were now after him, And they also had him on their list of top 10 most wanted fugitives in 1971.
I just don't get, like, maybe it's just because it's the 70s, but, like, how easy is it to just go by another name? Like, don't people ID you for anything?
You would think, just wait till we mention some stuff a little later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind. I'll ask later.
The name that Rodney was now going by was John Berger.
Oh, hell yes, baby. Hell yes, baby.
The reason that's Tooth's reaction is because we went to school with a kid named John Berger,
Wow.
and he only had 9 toes because when he was a little kid, he was riding on a lawnmower with his mom, and he fell off and they ran over his foot.
Are you sure that's what happened? Or was he just really charming?
That's what happened, dude.
Was he in Borderlands?
Nine
Toes?
Fuck yes, dude.
No, this John Berger, he was the one from my school. He was a nice kid, so
Yeah.
he just had 9 toes. Nothing wrong with that.
That was
Wait,
it.
so
Yeah.
this dude specifically is just like, all right, I'm not going to use Rodney anymore because even if I wasn't the killer, I should probably not use that name because it's stupid. What's just a great name? He stops. He has to go to the bathroom. He's like, I'm going to go use the John. He uses it. He's leaving, and he stops and he sees, oh, they have fucking McDonald's here?
Yeah.
He grabs a burger. So this guy is fucking John Burger.
Well,
That's probably how he came up with it.
It's unfortunately the reason he chose that was because one of his classmates already had his first name of choice, which was Phil Hot Dog. So,
Dude, by the way, hey, man, I did not know I was a classmate of his. Okay, so fuck you.
sorry, Phil Hot Dog.
Was there anyone else in their class? Maybe Down Corn?
No, I think Lisa Taco graduated by then.
God.
So.
Wait, what's that name from? Is that a real name?
You're probably thinking of Lisa Turtle.
But at least
Saved
the
by
turtle
the
was
Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Man, all right.
That was it.
Carry on, my wayward sons.
All right.
And one kind of ironic note here, while at NYU Film School, he was studying and learning under Roman Polanski.
Oh, wow.
So, a weird thing about Roman Polanski,
We know what happens.
say for those that don't know, is his wife, Sharon Tate, would end up, like a year later, getting murdered by the Manson family. And then Polanski later on would also be indicted for sexually abusing a 13-year-old girl. So murder and sexual assault is unfortunately a theme going on with this episode.
Yeah.
That seems like way too much of a coincidence.
We do kind of, we should probably do like a Sharon Tate episode, or at least a Charles Manson.
Yeah, eventually. But just the fact that like Roman Polanski, I don't know, it's fucking weird.
Well, I mean, like he was questioned in the Sharon Tate stuff too, because he wasn't even in the country.
Don't you demonize Roman Polanski, all right? Time heals all wounds. He made The Pianist, man. He won an Oscar.
I mean, dude,
he's
he
amazing.
He did make great movies.
He's an amazing piece of shit.
Oh,
Money.
Got him.
And while in New York, Rodney made a lot of friends, and people actually really liked him there. But fellow students would later claim they had no idea what he was like and all the stuff that he was doing. They said they never thought that he would be doing shit like that.
I know around the time they used the slang. If somebody was really cool, they called him the Mac. So they called him Rodney Mac.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that fucking
Isn't
shit
it?
wrestler.
I was saying, isn't he a wrestler?
He was like
dude.
married to Jazz.
Okay, dude.
All right, so now we come to June 1971. Cornelia Crilly, a 23-year-old flight attendant for Transworld Airlines, would be found dead in her apartment with a rope tied around her neck, her bra pulled up and over her head, and also teeth marks on her left breast from a bite.
Yeah.
She had been raped, murdered, and then the killer locked the door and left. And her murder would go unsolved until 2011.
Holy shit.
Yeah. As would most of the murders done by Rodney. So there's all these murders, disappearances, and stuff going on, and he doesn't get in trouble for these murders for like 30 to 40
How's
years.
this cunt like getting away with all this stuff? Like, he doesn't seem like a smart guy.
I'm about to find like a documentary or something, just like how people keep evidence over even a 10-year span sounds kind of ridiculous. Like just how people can connect stuff years later.
Yeah,
Especially in LA where it's a massive population.
well, back then they didn't have a way to test it, but they knew they would eventually, so it's a good thing they did keep DNA.
Well, they probably didn't test people named Rodney because they're like, oh, those guys are bitches.
So yeah, her murder would go unsolved until 2011, and the crime scene detectives were able to get DNA evidence. However, they didn't have any way of testing it yet. And also in the year 1971, Rodney, under the alias of John Berger, would get a job as a counselor at an arts camp in New Hampshire for children.
That's
So
so
I
fucked.
think
Oh,
I don't
dear
remember
God.
if it was all females or if it was just. I mean, it was a children camp. I don't know if it was for
Like, what
all
kind-
girls or not.
What kind of counselor?
I think it was with like arts and film and shit, stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
What does an arts counselor even do? Like a psychiatrist? I'm thinking like psychiatrist. Yeah.
Okay, please
No.
sit down. I want to know. I noticed you just made that necklace out of macaroni. How do you feel though?
What does that make you feel about the fact that your father left?
I noticed you used too much glue on the macaroni. That shows signs of postpartum aggression. Would you like me to take nude pictures of you, 9-year-old girl? No, you piece of shit.
Luckily, 2 of the children in the camp had remembered seeing an FBI photo up at the post office, and it had a man on there that resembled Mr. Berger. So they contacted the police, and Rodney was arrested and extradited back to L.A.,
Nice.
and he would soon be paying for his crime of rape and attempted murder of Tali Shapiro.
Good. Now, why won't he just flee the country like Roman Polanski and like go to Europe and try and become like royalty and like a king?
Are we just making it seem like Roman's guilty? Is that what
No,
we're
no. I was saying
Oh.
if he went to Europe and became royalty, then like at least half the people in this country love the Burger King.
I
So
don't know. He probably didn't have money, I
Yeah.
guess.
Because I mean, at least
hey, neither do any art student.
Roman Polanski was I think filming a movie. When he wasn't there when his wife got murdered.
Unfortunately, though, Shapiro's family had moved out of the country and into Mexico, as they didn't want to make an 8-year-old go up on the stand and testify, having to relive that horrible experience. But without the witness and victim to testify, they had to offer Rodney a plea deal. He would then plead guilty to a lesser charge of child molestation and register as a sex offender.
Did they
was
did
it.
they have to take him back to L.A. to
Yeah.
do this?
Yep.
Damn. So like when they were on the stand, were they trying to get the 9-year-old girl to testify, and they brought out this band like, now testify,
Oh my God, Rage Against the Machine.
because of Los
But
Angeles.
no, she wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Wait, he didn't get any jail time.
This was a sentence. 1 year to life.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That doesn't even make any
Which
fucking
one?
sense.
Which one did he even do?
1 year to life.
Mm.
And he only ended up spending 34 months in prison for
Oh,
the
dear
rape
God.
and attempted murder of an 8-year-old girl.
Jesus.
And while in prison, he gets interviewed and he's asked about Tali Shapiro. And this is what he replies. I want to forget about that. I don't want to talk about what Rod Alcala did. So,
Okay.
So
All
it's
right,
like-
guy. We don't want to talk about what Jose Mesa did, but we still fucking remember that. So
so yeah, he's only in there for, what do we say, 34 months. And then
Wait, real quick. So he said, I don't want to talk about what Rod Alcala did.
Yeah.
So is he like third personing himself, or
Yeah.
he's doing that as another
he's
personality?
John Berger now.
See, I don't know if he actually has multiple personalities. I mean, he definitely has a lot of shit wrong with him, but I don't know. I don't know if he's just saying that to try to make it not seem as bad.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter how many personalities they have; they're all still gonna be shitty art students not making any money.
And then 2 months after getting out, he would be going right back in after he offered a 13-year-old girl marijuana. He tricked her into getting into his car by offering a ride to school, and then he assaulted her. So back to prison he goes, but only for 2 years, and then he's paroled somehow. Yeah, so this parole officer kind of is like, just lets him do whatever it seems like.
He apparently is really fucking great at his job getting him out of stuff too, though.
And so now the year's 1977. He's fresh out of prison for the second time.
Fresh out of the box, stop, look, and watch.
Fresh out the box. Nick. Is that Keenan and Kel or?
Fresh out of the box, stop, look, and watch. Ready yet? Get
It's set. It's all that. There we go.
You got it.
Oh, oh, oh.
That was actually him singing.
All right, so 1977, fresh out of prison for the second time. He's probably going to change his ways, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ellen Hover, a 23-year-old woman, daughter of a nightclub owner, had gone missing. Shortly after she had gone missing, she had made a note on her calendar stating that she had a photography appointment and a photo session with a John Berger. Her remains would later be found buried on the grounds of, I think it was at a hospital near the Rockefeller Estate in Westchester County. And she was from came from like a wealthy background. Or she was the goddaughter of Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr.
Holy shit! Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, so when she went missing, it was like a big thing. Like
That makes sense because the nightclub thing too.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
Like, so that's why when she went missing, they put a bunch of like missing signs up everywhere.
Yeah,
because
totally.
the Rat Pack's fucking huge.
Oh, absolutely. That's fucking really huge.
And because whenever he was paroled, the parole officer let him leave California to go on a trip to New York, which is they're guessing when he did this. So it's like he took a trip over there.
Yeah, what a fucking
and
douche.
did this. And who knows how many people he's killed between.
Probably a ton.
You know.
Yeah, there's probably a ton.
So 1977 was also a good year for Rodney career-wise because he was hired to be a typesetter at the fucking Los Angeles Times. So now he's getting paid to work as a typesetter, and he's taking photos for the LA Times too, so he's at like weddings and shit like that. And the best part is, all of this is under his real name. He's a sexual predator and a child molester. All they had to do was a background check.
Oh,
and
my
they don't.
God.
No one fucking does it.
They fucking
So he just works for LA Times now.
cool.
And don't forget about his personal photography career as well. He's still very much doing that. He invites girls and boys back to his apartment to take their photos. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And now, before I forget, he ends up in total getting convicted or admitting to the murder of 5 in California and then 2 in New York. So that's going to be his end total.
Yeah.
And these all range from 1971 to 1979 sometime. However, there were a lot of girls that had gone missing or found dead, and the police believe he could be responsible for tens and tens more than that.
Yes.
So yeah, his
probably was,
his
too.
end total ends up being like 7 or 8. I forget, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's probably more. What an idiot. Fuck this guy.
And it was during this time now, 1978, perhaps what our guy is most well known for. He was a contestant on the dating game, and not only was he on it, but he fucking won. He was chosen to be the guy to take out the lucky girl. Thank God for the girl, though, that after picking him and meeting him backstage, she ended up changing her mind
Thank
about
God.
going out with him because she said he was like way too creepy and weird. And they have the clips on YouTube, so we're going to go ahead and play some of that right now.
Our next guest is originally from Danville, Illinois. He enjoys cold beer and hot music. Says that he and his mom don't see eye to eye on his love life. And he claims that his job has cost him several relationships. Please welcome Robert Faggot. Faggot is rather an odd name.
Yeah, you know, it is an odd name.
Oops, I'm sorry. I think we might have accidentally played the Robert Faggot clip from Love Connection. Since I accidentally played the wrong clip, we might as well just talk about it real quick. That was a guy named Robert Faggot who went on Love Connection, and one of the things that they say that they announce when he comes out is that he claims that jobs have caused him several relationships. Yeah, dude.
That's what happened,
I'm
guy.
fucking sure it was the jobs and not the fact that your last name is Faggot.
Because, dude, it sucked, dude. When people started putting that shit on my locker at fucking high school, man, I couldn't get anything.
And, just a heads up, I know we're saying it a lot. We don't mean it to be like offensive or anything.
Good.
It's only spelled with 1 G.
Yeah.
But like you could have pronounced it as Fagot,
Oh, yeah.
Fago,
Or it's like pissant or passant.
or just fucking changed it.
I mean, that was a Corky Romano joke, but yeah, exactly.
These serial killers can change their names. Why can't this fucking guy?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Come on, man.
Think about it. This guy is not afraid to change his name compared to
fucking-
serial killers.
Yeah, dude. Dude changed his name to what? John Berger?
Like this is easily the worst name of all time.
It's
like
bad.
I tried thinking of a name that would be worse to have than this, and I can't. Even if it was like Bobby Buttfuck, at least you would have a comeback. I would rather be Bobby Buttfuck than Robert Faggot any day. Because like they could be like, "Hey Bobby, you buttfuck anyone today?" Be like, "Yeah, your mom."
Yeah.
You come back
yeah,
as it.
Yeah.
Tommy Turd Tapper. I would rather be Tommy Turd Tapper than
Dude,
Robert
stop
Faggot.
talking about my names. But yeah, they're really, that is the word. It really is.
Chris Cumeter?
Yeah.
Dude, that's,
Man.
I'd still rather be,
So would I.
be that.
You
Yeah.
have zero chance. If my name was Robert Faggot,
I wish it was.
Depends on where you go, dude. Depends on where you go.
there's nothing you can do. Like, you know how names our like last names are based on like occupations. What did this guy's family do? I'm just showing. It's got to be like gathering. It's got to be like gathering bundles of sticks.
I think his
Stick
dad
gatherer
wasn't
or
his dad a dentist from the Hangover. Wait, real quick before you go yours. Hey, his sister had a worse name. Her name was Ima.
And I think one of my favorite parts though of that clip is when like the first thing the host says to him is, "Yeah, you know, faggot's a rather odd name." And the guy just looks pissed off. He's like, "Yeah, it is an odd name."
Yeah, I like how nobody sees me in the background, but he was actually pointing at me.
He wasn't even aware. What's funny is like I was actually a guest on that show. They gave me the wrong name tag, so it just said Robert. But it didn't have my last name, and he didn't even know the guy coming out, like the real Robert Faggot. He didn't even know his name. He just saw me hanging out on the stage with the Robert name tag, and he just went off.
What if I got a little conspiracy theory? What if this guy was getting made fun of so much because like faggot is associated with like a homosexuality and stuff like that?
Yeah.
What if he was so tired of the gay jokes that he went on the dating game to prove that he liked girls to everyone?
Dude,
like
why?
He tried to end the stereotype of faggot being homosexual.
Why do you think my last
Slur.
name is Virgin? That's exactly why.
Shit.
All right, so now we're gonna play the real clip.
Well, let's see. Bachelor number one is a successful photographer who got his start when his father found him in the dark room at the age of 13, fully developed. Between takes, he might find him skydiving or motorcycling. Please welcome Rodney Alcala. Rod, welcome. And see how they sound. Number one, would you say hello to Cheryl, please?
We're going to have a great time together, Cheryl.
Okay, and here we go.
Bachelor number one,
Yes.
what's your best time?
The best time is at night, nighttime,
Why do you say that?
because that's the only time there is.
The only time? What's wrong with morning, afternoon?
Well, they're okay, but nighttime's when it really gets good. Then you're really ready.
I'm a drama teacher, and I'm going to audition each of you for my private class. Bachelor number one. You're a dirty old man. Take it.
Come on, over here.
Oh, honey, we ought to go out and boogie.
Really?
Bachelor number one. I am serving you for dinner.
Oh,
What are you called, and what do you look like?
I'm called the banana, and I look really good.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Peel me.
Later, Bachelor one. Later.
Welcome back to the dating game, and Cheryl, we have reached the moment of truth, as we call it. You've heard from the bachelors. You got some great dramatic presentations, some good answers, but now I'm going to ask you a question. Will that date be bachelor number one, bachelor number two, or bachelor number three? Who gets the dates?
Well, I like bananas, so I'll take one.
Number one, bachelor number
So as you can tell from the clip, he's a really fucking weird dude.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of funny a little bit, and he can come off as kind of charming, I guess. But after knowing what you know, it's really just fucking offsetting. Like it's really creepy.
yeah.
I don't even get the part. Like I get the banana as like a dick innuendo joke.
Yeah,
But then he's like-
Toof told me that a bunch of times.
Then he's like, "Peel me." It's not even like funny. It's
I mean,
just
Toof also told me that, but I mean, we were having sex, so I mean, yeah, I don't get it.
I was mumbling. I was saying pee on me.
Oh, well, my bad. I didn't know you were R. Kelly.
and the at night part is like super fucking
Yeah,
weird too
dude.
and creepy.
Yeah.
Especially because it's like there's an amount of truth to it. Because he like works during the day and then does all of his like personal photography shit at night. It's just weird and creepy.
It's almost like he was just really just being honest.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bitch, you take this date, I'm gonna kill you at night.
She's
Yeah.
like, contestant number 1, you see me walking down the street on the sidewalk. What do you do? She's like, oh, I pull up in my car where I took the license plate off just a little bit over on the block, and I offer you some marijuana.
Basically, that is the netting game part 3.
And like we mentioned, during this time, he's also using his real name. So they let a sexual predator, child molester, get on this dating show, and all they would have to do is do a background check. And at this point, he's already killed like 3 to 4 people.
Yeah.
So
Sick fuck.
Well, also been let go by our prison system many times and court system too. So
Yeah, true that.
yeah, but thank God this girl ends up changing her mind and not wanting to go out. She's also really fucking weird too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad like she didn't get killed or go out with this dude, but she's fucking really weird.
I mean, she may have gone and killed somebody else, but I mean, yeah.
I wonder like what court systems do. Like, all right, so let's look at this guy's file. He's in here for his second attempted murder and rape. All right, we just gave him 34 months last time. What do you want to do this time? Flip the fucking coin. Flip it. Let's see what he got. Fuck, it was heads. Give him about 2 years.
Dude, really this year maybe. Yeah, it may be that, yeah.
And while he's working at the LA Times, he's showing all his coworkers his portfolio, the photographs that he's taken, which included hundreds of young men and women, and now some of them are nude, and a lot of them are kind of just like sexually explicit and just they're just weird. But he would just like show his coworkers and expect them to be like, "Oh yeah, sweet man, those are cool." Like, what do you? If a coworker came up to me and started showing me that, I would be so fucking creeped out.
Yeah.
Man.
Unless it was like the cop from Scary Movie, and he was.
At least you would get it. Yeah, at least you would get it, because he's cleaning his room and stuff. And
Mom, I told you not to disrupt me when I'm cleaning my room.
but then
I was talking about the police officer that shows the dirty pictures of himself.
Shit, dude, I was thinking about
okay.
You
Doofy.
guys just
I was
went
thinking about
straight to the
Doofy,
retarded
man.
guy.
Yeah, I was thinking about Doofy. Hey, you want to take a look at that one again? All right, now I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, most of the photos are sexually explicit. They also had a bunch of nude teenage dudes in them too.
Could you email me those photos real quick? Just so I can.
Actually, there are. We'll get to the photos.
It's
Dude,
fine. It's
come
fine.
on.
It's fine, dude.
All right, so now June 20th, 1979, Huntington Beach, California. 12-year-old Robin Samso was with a friend of hers named Bridget. They were hanging out at the beach before she needed to head out to a ballet class. And she was going to be working at the ballet place, answering phones. And in return, she would get to take the classes there for free.
Yeah.
And during her time at the beach, her and Bridget, they were approached by a stranger. And he had a camera, and he asked Robin if he could take their pictures for a photo contest. And Robin, being a 12-year-old girl, and she's like all excited, she's like, yeah, sure. But at that exact time, Bridget's neighbor just happened to be walking by. And so she intervened and was like, hey, is everything here all right? And they said the stranger with the camera then covered his face and walked away quickly. And Bridget recalls him looking like he was super angry as he left. And she said like you could almost see the smoke coming off his shoes as he walked away. Like that's how pissed off he looked.
How about this? Since he's had a record now, does that make him the Huntington Beach bad boy? Tito Ortiz. MMA guy.
Robin then had to leave to head to the ballet class, so Bridget told her to borrow her bike and to take it and ride it there without stopping because they were both kind of worried about that guy.
Yeah.
And that was the last time that she was ever seen alive again.
Oh, Jesus.
Sometime between the beach and class, she was picked up. She was supposed to be home around 5 p.m. after a lesson, but the ballet instructor called her family and said that she never showed up. So they looked everywhere, but they couldn't find her. And then 12 days later, a park ranger found her remains in a forested area near the Pasadena foothills. And her body was nothing except for bones at this point because animals had unfortunately gotten to her.
Jesus.
Yeah, only 12 days later. And
sick.
in an interview with the mom, the police tell her that they found the body of like a young girl. The mom said, well, does she have long blonde hair? Because she has long blonde hair. And there's lots of girls with long blonde hair, so it could be anyone. And the animals had gotten to her so badly that there was no hair left on her body.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And
Wait, what the fuck? Animals eat hair?
if the animals will fucking eat.
So,
yeah, you ever see like a dead animal outside that gets ripped apart by like scavengers and stuff?
So, yeah, you leave it to
I never
that
thought
point.
like hair, like because like it's so
They
long
ate
that like,
it-
you have
well,
to eat. Like
I mean, if
They
it
ate-
gets to that
It
point.
was almost just a skeleton left.
Yeah.
After 12 days. And Bridget was the only witness that could be able to identify the stranger with the camera, and she worked with a police sketch artist to draw up a composite. Luckily, Rodney's former parole officer, who usually seemed like he was a big fuck up,
Yeah, fuck you, idiot.
he saw the sketch and he reached out to the police saying that he believes that the person they're looking for is in fact Rodney Alcala. And this time, it was easy for the police to find and arrest him. He was going by his real name, and he was also living with his parents for some reason at this time. And the police, they went to his mother's house, and when they did a search, they found a receipt to a storage locker in Seattle. And the police would soon search that locker, and inside it, they found a bag with a bunch of jewelry in it, which included earrings that belonged to Robin Samso. And while Rodney was in custody, his sister came to visit him, and the police were recording the room that they were in, and Rodney told his sister that she needed to go to a storage locker in Seattle because the cops don't know about it. He needs her to clear it out. It's like, what a fucking idiot. You have to know the police are listening, you know? Like, they're not just not going to listen.
That's like him saying it to the fucking girl in the dating game. Like, nobody else is listening to this, right?
So, yeah, at this point, they have him arrested on suspicion. They haven't actually checked the storage locker yet, although they did find the receipt before they heard his sister talking about it. And while they're questioning him, they ask him if he ever took photos at the beach, and he said, from time to time. And when asked if he ever took pictures of people there, he told them, not that I can recall. So, all right. And he also ever denied going to Huntington Beach recently. He said the last time he was there was in 1974. And he also denied being the photographer guy in the drawing, even though the drawing looks 100% like him.
Yeah.
So they're like 100% positive it's him, but they just have to interview him. But he's like, no, man, I haven't been to that beach in over 5 years. I'm not the photographer guy. I don't take pictures of people at the beach, stuff like that. And in the locker, they find hundreds and hundreds, thousands possibly, of photos. And you can find a lot of these photos online, except they don't put up any of the sexually explicit ones. And the reason for these being online is because a lot of these girls are unknown or missing. So they ask for people to contact them and say if they recognize any of them or know who any of them are. And while going through the photos, the police didn't find any of Robin or Bridget. However, they did find one of a woman that was roller skating, and it was taken at Huntington Beach. So now they're like, okay, you said you haven't been there in 5 years. We just found a photo.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and find this girl and see when this picture was taken. And the police actually do manage to track down the girl in the photo. She was 15 years old. That's pretty ridiculous to be able to do that. And they asked her what day she was there, had that photograph taken, and she told them June 20th, which was the exact same day that that other girl, that Robin, went missing and killed.
Oh, shit.
So that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
That's good police work. That's pretty, that's
absolutely
ridiculous. And just the chances that was the same exact day, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And investigators would also learn that within a couple days of Robin's murder and within 24 hours of that sketch being released, Rodney had cut his long curly hair, and he also had removed the carpet from the back of his car, and he put in new carpet. So that's super suspicious.
Yeah, he removed carpet from somewhere else because he wasn't sure how much they knew. I'm sorry.
And he told his girlfriend, yeah, he fucking has a girlfriend at this time.
Oh.
Yeah.
He told her that he spilled gasoline back there, and so he wanted to get rid of that smell, so that's why he took the carpet out.
Oh, dude, holy shit. Jesus.
Well, I mean, you could tell from his dating game thing, he wasn't really the brightest guy, so.
This is very true.
But he actually had a pretty high IQ, too. That's what's weird. But, yeah, just because you have a high intelligence doesn't mean you're not a fucking moron when it comes to other shit.
All right. Was he dating Corky from Life Goes On?
Oh, yeah, life goes on.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's trial time. It's 1980. Rodney is tried, convicted, and sentenced to death for Robin's murder. And this is the only murder
Just that.
that they have him for right
That's
now.
unfortunate.
However, the verdict would later be overturned by the California Supreme Court because they felt the jury was being prejudiced.
Are you fucking kidding? He's white.
In case you're wondering why, like, how's that possible? How could they overturn an obvious murder conviction? Because the jury was informed about Rodney's past crime, the rape and attempted murder of an 8-year-old, and they thought it was unfair to bring that up in the courtroom.
Dude.
What? Damn, dude.
Isn't that fucking ridiculous?
Holy shit.
Wait,
Yeah.
when was this going on?
This was in 1980. Like, I understand you not bringing up past crimes to help sway the jury and stuff. Like, I understand that.
He raped an 8-year-old. You should
But
probably do
this
that.
is ridiculous because it's
Yeah.
completely related. It's like the same type of crime, and it should have been brought up.
Yeah.
So now there's a second trial, but this isn't until 6 years later in 1986.
Was he out?
No, he's still in like custody and shit.
Yeah.
This sounds like future court systems in our PC culture. It's like, I feel from a member of our jury that we are personally attacking this guy for bombing an entire city. You know, I think that's kind of wrong to think about this stuff.
You just assume that he was a guy?
So alrighty, the second trial, 6 years later, 1986. The jury once again sentences him to death once more. First degree murder. However,
Jesus.
a Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned this verdict in 2001.
What the fuck? Why? Stop.
In 2001, yeah. This was the quote.
Why?
Let me tell you. Quote, in part because the second trial judge did not allow a witness to back up the defense's claim that the park ranger who found Robin Samso's animal-ravaged body in the mountains had been hypnotized by police investigators. Never mind all the evidence and everything.
So they're saying that a dead body was hypnotized? Is that what they said?
No.
Okay. You gotta give me that.
Because the park ranger that found the dead body was said to have been hypnotized by police investigators to find out information.
The park ranger.
Yeah.
It was just basically just...
So alrighty.
Wait, I just don't get, like out of all the damning evidence, just
Yeah.
the fact that he on camera told his sister to get rid of this locker in Seattle, which, like, he lived in L.A. and New York, but, like, he's literally telling his sister to destroy evidence.
No, the states did that.
Well, yeah, there's a shit ton of evidence. But yeah, so let's go on
He was
to
hypnotized.
let's go on to trial number 3 here, guys. 2010, 31 years after the murder of Robin.
Yeah, he shouldn't have lived this long.
And he's in custody this whole time.
I believe he's in San Quentin, which I watched the Saint Anger video and I couldn't find him.
What's funny is, like,
Round my neck.
probably
That dude, that's almost as bad as this whole thing. But yeah,
probably if in 86 when this first trial happened, if he would have pleaded guilty, he would have been out by now. Probably they probably gave him like 4 years anyway.
they might have. Yeah.
And during this time, 31 years after the murder of Robin, Rodney wrote a book where he proclaimed his innocence, and he also tried to bring forth 2 lawsuits against the California penal system because of one time where he slipped and fell, and also because the prison refused to provide him a low-fat menu.
Yeah. Okay, that makes you an innocent guy.
Yeah. So, however, a bit of good news. Between the second and third trial, Rodney's DNA had been found to match semen that was left at multiple murder scenes, 4 women that were murdered during the 70s, and his DNA was found at the scenes. This was between the second and third trial, so the third trial started in 2010, so it was between those.
They did have it before that. They just didn't check it.
I think they checked it, but I don't think it was brought up till the actual trial. Because there was, it's like 30 years.
They've had the technology for a while.
And all 4 of those women were beaten, strangled, raped, and then posed in carefully chosen positions. And one of the victims actually was originally thought to have been a victim of the Hillside Strangler. So now for the third trial, they decided to put all 5 murders together for one giant hearing. And one note here, though, these 4 added murders aren't even including the 2 that we mentioned earlier. So these are just more that are added to his total. These are 4 different ones. And Rodney's lawyers fought this, saying that, quote, if you're a juror and you hear one murder case, you may be able to have a reasonable doubt, but it's very hard to say you have reasonable doubt on all 5, especially when 4 of the 5 aren't alleged by eyewitnesses but are proven by DNA matches. So yeah, DNA is not good enough.
All right, good job, guys. You did good. You can go home now. You did about as good as the fucking Cavs, so go ahead and go home.
I'm trying to come up with a Kendrick Lamar DNA joke.
But this part is pretty awesome because this very rarely ever works, and it's always fucking hilarious. Rodney Alcala acted as his own attorney.
Oh, fuck yeah. About time, baby.
And he would take the stand in his own defense, and for like 5 hours, he would switch back roles, either as the interrogator or the witness, and he even questioned himself on the stand. Yes. And when he spoke as the interrogator, he would use a deep voice, and he would act like he was speaking to himself. He would go, Mr. Alcala, and then he would reply back. People, they just watch this happen.
Nice.
Oh, man.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I wish he just would have been just killed doing this.
Fuck, this guy's too talented to be a killer.
Oh, his fucking defenses are, I really don't know really, they should have let him go after these defenses because they're actually really good. Like
are they on YouTube? Can I watch these?
No, but
Damn
listen to this defense he had. One of his defenses was showing the dating game tape, actually showing that fucking tape and being like, yeah, see those earrings that were said to be Robin's? Those are mine. I'm wearing them in the tape. He has long curly hair. He's not even fucking wearing earrings, obviously.
Yeah.
And they even questioned one of the guys, the other bachelors that were on the show, and he said, well, earrings were not socially acceptable anyways for men in like 1978.
Yeah.
And he said, I had never seen a man with an earring in his ear. I would have noticed them on him. So it's just more proof that Rodney's just a fucking idiot. But yeah, in that garage, they found like a big bag of all these earrings, which obviously are taken from the people he's killed and stuff. But he tried saying that they were a gift, like saying that his sister gave him those earrings.
So that was his sister the whole time.
So stupid. And also, he said like, oh, those earrings, the ones that they said were Robin's. He's like, yeah, those are a gift from his sister. And he had a big bag of earrings, so it wasn't just like one set. It was like an actual bag of them. And during the third trial, it turns out that there's DNA evidence on one of the earrings that he claimed was a gift. And the DNA evidence actually matched those earrings to one of the 4 girls that was in the murder case. That was one of the girls he murdered.
Yeah.
So they had the DNA from one of the dead girls on those earrings that he said were a gift from his sister.
Oh, well, I'm part of his
Good job,
defense
guy.
team. We easily solved that. See, he likes to buy his earrings from Goodwill, and Goodwill usually has like a lot of like, not like stuff sold from other people to Goodwill or given to him. So clearly, this girl just gave her earrings to Goodwill, and his sister bought them from Goodwill and gave them to him as a gift. Clearly.
All coincidences.
Yeah.
And also during his defenses, like, because he wrote that book where he talked about some of the stuff.
The if I did it one. Oh wait, this is no joke. Never mind.
Pretty
Sorry.
much. But in the book, he changes the story in the third trial from what he says to compare to what he said in the book. And they just bring it out in trial. Like, yeah, that's not even what you said happened in your book. The dude's a fucking idiot.
One of his other defenses during the trial, he's like, this trial is very complicated, and it's like a banana. There's a lot of layers that you just got to peel. So peel me.
And also, there is a surprise witness at this trial. Tally Shapiro, the 8-year-old girl from the first crime, actually showed up to speak out against him.
Jesus.
So that had to have been fucking hard for her.
Is she a healthy girl?
She looked all right in the interview. I don't know in the details. I know she has like a 14-year-old son.
I hope she's led a healthy life. That shit was sad. So I really hope so.
Like, everyone's like, oh shit, I think this guy's gonna go off not guilty. Oh fuck, that was pick number 29, number 30. Who's it gonna be? And then the buzzer goes off, and she walks
I hope
in.
she came out to Benoit's music.
Oh my god.
And this was Rodney's defense for like so he's like saying he didn't murder Robin. And now for the 4 girls that they had his DNA on, this is his defense for that. I don't remember killing any of those girls. That was his entire defense for those. I just don't remember doing
Wasn't
it.
it?
I don't remember eating Taco Bell, but I still got fat from it, fucker.
I thought his defense was Robin laid an egg and Batman smells.
No, that was mine when I farted earlier.
Yeah.
But that's not all of his tricks. He's got one last trick up his sleeve to try and get him out. Try and get him out of this.
This guy's like the Riddler.
Let me pull this up. For his closing argument, he played the song Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie. So we're going to play like a small clip right here so you can hear the song. He played this song in the courtroom in front of everyone, thinking like maybe it would help his case.
I went up there, I said, shrink, I want to kill. And I want to kill. I want to see blood and gore and guts and veins in my teeth. Eat dead, burnt bodies. I mean, kill. And I started jumping up and down, yelling, kill. And it started jumping up and down with me, and we was both jumping up and down, yelling, kill. And the sergeant came over, pinned the medal on me, set me down the hall, said, you're our boy. And you feel too good about it.
But yeah, that's the part he played. You know the part of the story where the main guy tells his psychiatrist that he wants to kill, and he says kill like 50 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, this fucking dumb motherfucker play that song thinking like, all right, this is my, here's my fucking ace up the sleeve to get me out of this. If all goes right, I'll be fucking relaxing in a hot tub after this case tonight.
It sucks because that's what happened because he went away free after this.
And that's the end of the case. He's free. And to the surprise of nobody, he is found guilty one more time. Thank God. And all those poor families that have to keep going through all this shit and all the trials, reliving it over and over. Like, Robin's family had to do this 3 fucking times. Like, he had to keep going over and over all this shit. So now that's finally over. And in 2011, he would be indicted for 2 more murders, the 2 we mentioned, Hover and Crilly. But for some reason, he actually pled guilty to those 2 murders. I have no idea why. After denying everything else, he pleads guilty to those.
I have no idea. Finally, maybe he grew some balls.
So he gets the death sentence, obviously, but these 2 added on an extra 25 to life on top of his original sentence. And yeah, that's the dating game killer. We don't know his actual total of victims. He has 8 for sure. And upwards of anywhere between 1 and 200, they believe, is possible. Yeah,
200?
Yeah, he's still alive, hopefully for not too much longer. He is currently 74 years old.
Jesus, yeah, he's lived way too long.
But he's taken all those trips between California and New York. Who knows how many he's killed.
Oh, yeah. There's a ton of unsolved ones.
Those trips are driving too, right? Not flying?
Yeah, driving.
Okay.
And, I mean, there's other killers going on, like the Hillside Strangler, they thought one of the victims was killed by the Hillside Strangler, but it was him. Also, I think, who else is going on in New York? BTK, is that going on?
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Is that? Yeah, so who knows?
Yeah, at that time it would have been.
So when he was locked up,
BTK started in the 60s, I'm pretty sure.
And he went on for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was locked up for 20 years, 30 years... And he could have had 1 to 200. I mean, that time he locked up, he could have killed more people. So he really could almost been Rodney 300. So
another Con Air joke. Jesus. So I do have some notes and some random stuff to talk about. During the first trial, Robin's mother actually brought a gun with her and planned to shoot Rodney in the face when she walked in.
She should have.
Yeah, I wish she would have too.
I'll say she should have. She'd be out by now.
And after the 3rd trial, when Tali Shapiro came in as a witness, Rodney, tried to apologize to her. What a piece of shit. He tried to fucking kill her. He raped her when she was 8 and tried to kill her, and then he tried telling her he was sorry. Tally's like, I don't know what he was saying. I just ignored him. She's like, I don't want to hear anything he has to say.
Fuck that, dude. I would have fucking stabbed him in the neck.
The lady brings a gun in and shoots him during the first trial, and the jury's like, you know what? Actually, we feel as though that shooting that just took place was just something of the past, and we shouldn't discriminate against her, so she's free also.
At this point, might as well.
So this is kind of weird, but in 2016, 2 detectives went to visit and talk to Rodney in his cell, and while they were going there, they were told that he was he had borderline dementia, and he's also 73 or so at this point, so he's old as fuck. And they were there to ask him about a girl in one of the photographs. Her name was Christine. After the photos went online, her family saw the picture of her wearing a yellow top, and she's sitting on a motorcycle. Now, her family, they had no idea who Rodney Alcala was. They just knew that Christine had been missing for almost 40 years. And then when all those photos went up online, they saw a picture of her. So all they knew was that this Christine went missing.
Yeah.
Like, her family knew she went missing.
Yeah.
They had no idea what happened, had no idea who Rodney Alcala was. They don't know who this guy is at all. They just saw the picture. So that's weird as fuck already.
Absolutely.
And her family, I don't know if it was her sister or something, submitted DNA to see if there was any possible matches. And there was. An unidentified female body was found in Wyoming back in 1982.
Oh, man, that's sick.
I'm not quite sure how long the body was dead for, but it was found in 1982. And next to the body was what looked like the remains of the clothes that she was wearing in that picture.
Jesus.
So that means almost immediately after that picture was taken, he killed her. And also, it was found out that she was 6 months pregnant during the time of her death.
Man, are you fucking kidding me?
So now back to the 2 detectives. They visit Rodney in his cell. They show him some pictures of where the area where the body was found. And Rodney says, "Oh, I know this area. That's my area."
When they were approaching the cell, did he throw something at them and say, "Look at the blood"?
I don't know what that is.
What? Jodie Foster, Hannibal Lecter.
Oh.
When that guy jerks off and throws it on her, "Look at the blood." But what about those detectives, Kev?
Rodney says, "I know this area. That's my area." And then they hand him the picture of the girl in the yellow top sitting on the motorcycle, and he stares at it for a moment. He sets the photo on his lap, and he just takes his finger and he begins to trace the outline of the girl with his finger. They said he traces it for almost 5 minutes. He just does that constantly. He just keeps tracing the outline of her.
Yeah.
Then he sets the photo down and he starts tapping it. like tapping on the picture all over her body, just keeps tapping it, and he taps faster and faster, and then all of a sudden he just stops and then just doesn't say anything.
The fuck is this, like voodoo or something?
Yeah, he just does that. He's just playing a fucking game with them.
Yeah, that totally makes him innocent.
And the detective asked him, he's like, "Did you kill her?" And he replies, No, you're crazy, you're stupid. And then they asked, "Was she alive when you left her?" And this dumb fucking idiot says, "Yes, she was alive when I left."
Oh, yeah, good job.
So he just puts himself at the scene. Like, he puts himself at the scene with her, admitted that he knew the area that he was with her at, and the fact that he had a photograph of her and she was found in that area with those clothes on. And they said that was enough for them to charge him with the confession, so they charge him with another first-degree murder.
Nice.
So... yeah, but and that's the thing. They put all those. There's only like 100 and some pictures out of like the hundreds and thousands that they put online, and people have come forward saying they know who some of them are, but it's so hard to look at. Some of them are just normal photographs of people. Like, some look just like senior photos. Some just look like just pictures that were taken. But it's like the people in the photos. Some of them look happy. Some look like awkward or uncomfortable, but. It's just the fact that you don't know how many of those people that he actually murdered then.
You know the end result, yeah.
So it's really weird to look at. You can see them all online.
It's awful.
And I'm glad
I didn't look at them.
I'm glad they're up because it does help people find out and identify them. But it's hard to look at. It's just a weird feeling. But yeah, so that is Rodney Alcala, the dating game killer. Did you guys have any comments on that?
I was just saying, I kind of hope that this guy gets like prison punishment. You know, like sometimes there's some bad guys in prison, but they at least try and take matters in law in their own hands. So
yeah, they did get punished when they played Saint Anger live there.
that really was almost enough. It's not, but it was almost. The people if anybody was in there for armed robbery, they just got way too much punishment.
Oh my God.
I'm not even supposed to be here, man.
When they're playing that concert, instead of like people cheering, they just kept hearing saying, I'm innocent, let me out.
I didn't want to come. They made me.
Van Wilder, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
Timmy, man.
Timmy, call me nuts. So, alrighty, for those of you that want to check us out, we are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, usually under Brothers Commonplace or Bros Commonplace. You can also reach us at brotherscommonplace@gmail.com. And we have a website up now that is at brotherscommon.place, so you can find us on there. If you want to be an honorary brother, just send us an email or something on Twitter or leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. And if you're in a podcast and you leave us a 5-star review, make sure you put the name of your podcast in there, and we will follow you, we'll subscribe, and give you a rating and 5-star review right back.
I may have the names wrong here, so let me know if I have them wrong. You guys can correct me, but so we've gotten some 5-star reviews, last couple of weeks and stuff, but not many requests. And I know we still do owe you guys a couple things that have been promised, and those will happen. If you guys 5-star review and then request this, Toof and Kevin will reenact the scene when Simba and Nala have sex in Lion King.
Yes, we will. And Tim is going to be the wind.
I will be the wind. I will also be Timon and Pumbaa.
Our trio's down to 2.
Really?
Our trio's down to 2.
Really, all you guys have to do is sexually look each other in the eye, but that's all I need.
No change needed. All right, Toof, what do you got to say, man? You got some words of wisdom or anything?
All right, I got some words of wisdom for you. I know everyone knows me and Andrew are known to browse the internet, the nastiest places of the internet, the adult side of the internet, the pornographic side of the internet. Well, I like to go on the chat boards, message boards, comments. That little icon pops up in the bottom right. You got some locals near you. Oh, really? Well, would you like to know about the Brothers Commonplace? So I sent out our website to them.
It's mostly me asking, but yeah, there's sometimes not me.
Sometimes every now and then I'll dial those $2.99 and a minute hotlines, be like, hey, sexy, what you doing tonight? Listen to the Brothers Commonplace. You know what? Look it up right now. Go to brotherscommon.place and check it out for yourself, honey. She's like, you still got to pay me. I was like, bitch, when this is all over, you're going to be paying me. Anyway, so, everyone knows the big porn sites. I don't got to say Pornhub because they already get enough. But, sometimes you gotta go to the deepest places of the internet, the little known porn sites to throw your name out there. So when I was just spanking it one night, I was all bored playing slap nuts, everything with myself. I found this site where it's a bunch of like people who role play as cashiers, and they have a scat fetish. And so I threw a video out there of us and a little bit of porn mixed in with it. So I got a lot of views. The website was called swipeitandwipeit.com.
Holy shit, man. Yes.
Hell yeah, thanks, too.
Yeah, they promote us on there a lot, guys.
And there's two websites.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's not the other one.
I take a lot of medicine. I actually took one of my Viagra, so I was spanking it for like fucking 8 hours straight, Like, I had to get that baby to go down. So I was on another website. This was kind of weird, but it was my own personal website I hosted up. And usually when I'm spanking it, I usually fucking like try and do gymnastics, and I try and come on my own shoulders and stuff. And I get a lot of views and everything. And
I mean, most of them are me. But yeah,
sometimes I do it on campsites and stuff too. You don't know who's watching out there. Views are out there, man. They're just people are waiting to watch stuff. And I try and come on my own shoulders and let it drip down my spine and everything. I call it the comeback kid, and I upload some Brothers Commonplace stuff there too. 0 views so far.
And when he gets a bunch, he's like, "Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years."
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
And then people stop listening to us, and then we have like one person listening. It's usually just Kevin, but still.
I only listen because I have to edit it though.
Dude, I would. Okay, yeah.
All right, so thank you everyone for listening. Be good, stay safe.
Laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag Pretzel Dogs.
Hashtag T-Bro Nutsack.
Hashtag Smelly Balls. Everybody in the house has smelly balls.
You want a hashtag too?
Hashtag Pretzel Dog. Hashtag Pretzel Dick. Hashtag Copy. Hashtag Wildman.
Oh, fuck yeah. Hashtag Copy is the original hashtag Wildman.